And we're live. We're going into Memorial Day weekend, everybody. It's been a long week. We've had a lot of pickups. We are going to be talking about some of those underrated, best forgotten stories. But first, it's the moment you all been waiting for. We're going into a holiday weekend.
No.
It's Friday, you bastards.
The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic book community. Comic creators and comic fans, tonight you are seen, heard, recognized, because comics are for everyone. Live from Miami, Florida, broadcasting around the world, this is the Not Near Mint Show.
Okay, so we all pulled some books. We all have some runs that we've read over the course of many of us collecting and reading over 40 years. So let's take this off the screen down there. We know we're going to be doing the top 5 at the very end of the episode, and it's all about the people here that have stuff to show. But I also dropped in the chat if there's any run or any story that you think that some people out there might not have heard of before, drop that in the chat and let the people out there know about it. But let's start going around and say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We are very goofy today.
We are quite, because 3 days off for those that have it. Congratulations. For those that don't, I'm so sorry. I understand. But you might have noticed just the other day that Doc, Kevin over here, had a live broadcast where he had a great turnout. He's going to start doing some live episodes on his channel. Do you want to tell people about what you're planning on doing?
I don't know how regularly I'm going to do one. I mean, I did it by myself, and that's kind of a rarity, it seems like, on YouTube Comics anymore. But I'll plan on bringing some guests on. I've got access to some software that will allow me to have multiple people on at once. So I'm going to learn, get over the learning curve of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I had like 18, 20 people at a time on the stream yesterday, and I thought it went pretty good, all things considered. I rambled for an hour and 20 minutes.
Nice. There you go. Nice. Good times.
There are episodes when we do this show here where we don't even get 17 people watching regularly, and you had that all throughout. At one point, 23 people, and for a first broadcast, most people out there could not say the same. So congratulations on that.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. I mean, ever since I hit 1,000 subscribers, YouTube has just gone berserk. I don't get it. I've gotten like almost 80 new subscribers in the last 4 days. It's just bizarre. And I'm not doing anything different. So I have to think that hitting that 1,000 has triggered something in the algorithm. Maybe. I really don't know.
Now, whatever you're doing, it's working. You're consistent. You're knowledgeable. You're telling people what they really want to know. And you're not going, okay, wait until the very end of the video until we get to what I really want. No, let's just fast forward or just click on that upper right-hand button so we can just speed through at twice the speed.
No, like and subscribe, guys. Right there.
I'm just being me. And if people like that, power to them.
Well,
and for that, we thank you. So you're the square next to me. Would you like to start showing some of the books that we're going to be talking about of Best Forgotten Stories?
Best Forgottens. Okay, I'm going to...
Actually, before we get started, like, can we do a little preface like we were talking before we started? So,
sure.
Because I think that top secret, the Best Forgotten Stories... all right, y'all are hardcore comic fans, guys. There's going to be a lot that you're going to be like, of course I know this book. Of course I know that book. And like, yeah, but talking to people on Blue Sky all the time, it's really like, I know for my list, I went for a lot of stuff that I'm having people go, oh yeah, that book was really cool. Or, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that book in 30 years. You know, it's like that we are the hardcore comic fans. A lot of people watching this are going to be the hardcore comic fans. There probably won't be very many books other than Miracleman, because he has the craziest collection known to man. That you like go, I've never heard of this book before in my whole life. You know, these are
But
just
then
books
those don't meet the criteria because they're not forgotten. They've never been known in the first place.
Exactly.
There you go. I like that.
I mean,
But
to
yeah,
be
there's going to be a lot of books.
we are now in 2026 where the attention span of many people out there, whether they're a comic fan, where we can read and stay focused enough to get through a single issue, much less a graphic novel or whatever. But these people might not have read it before, or it came out and now it's in the back of their mind and it's forgotten. It could be something that came out a couple years ago. It could be from the 80s. It could be from the 40s, although not a lot of us are collectors from the 40s, and I don't know many fantastic stories from the 40s that weren't written by Will Eisner.
Yeah. Also, a lot of them are going to be ones that might just get overshadowed. Like Frank Miller comes out, you know, Jonathan Hickman gets the limelight, you know, depending on what era we're talking. But yeah, I didn't mean to stomp on you, Kevin. Go for. I'd love to see what you got.
All right, I'm going to start off probably something that with things that people have probably heard of the most, and then go down from there. And I don't know if I'm going to be stealing Vinson's thunder on this first one or not, but a great story that doesn't get talked about nearly as much anymore is Demon in a Bottle. Iron Man 120 to 128. This is the first edition of the trade paperback for that. I mean, it's very David Michelinie, very edgy stuff for the time, talking about alcoholism, and then it hits a lot of my buttons because it has so many of the 2-bit C-list and D-list villains throughout the entire story, led by Justin Hammer, you know, Tony Stark's kind of industrial rival at the time.
And John Romita Jr.'s art it's early, and then Bob Layton is the perfect inker for it.
Oh yeah, they're a terrific team, and Michelinie too. I mean, he was right. I know he's had some issues later in his career, but this early stuff is just fabulous. And I have this book. Here's a humble brag for you. It's signed by John Romita Jr. and David Michelinie. I don't have Layton. That's an old school Romita Jr. 1994.
94. Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, the next one that I'm going to give is the Judas Contract. I know most of y'all have read this, I hope. Maybe not.
It's required reading.
Oh, yeah.
We read it.
You're a DC fan. You have to read
But
it.
it's kind of fallen off the wayside. And that's why I would qualify it as forgotten, because it's classic Marv Wolfman, classic George Perez. We got Deathstroke. We got the turning of Terra. We got the introduction of Nightwing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in this series. It's really, really good. And it crosses over into a Teen Titans annual, which you don't see a whole lot either.
And there's the fact that how old was Terra when she was being manipulated by Deathstroke, who was having a very much intimate relationship with her, and we now know today that's very wrong. But hey, let's give them an ongoing series.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that part.
DC doesn't like to talk about that either.
All right, now I'm going to get a little more obscure. I suspect some of you have heard of this, but a series that I love that has been forgotten is Whiteout. Have y'all read Whiteout? Anybody?
Greg Rucka.
Yeah, it's Greg Rucka and Steve Lieber. This is the compilation that they came out with a few years ago. Whiteout had 2 separate graphic novels. It was Whiteout, and then Whiteout Melt was the second one. They made a movie of this with Kate Beckinsale as the lead, and it's basically she is a disgraced investigator, and she's been kind of what's the word? Just sent away to a remote base in Antarctica where a murder takes place while she's there. And it's her job, among other people, to try to solve the murder that's going on. It's really gripping. The art is fantastic. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Steve Lieber's work. I assume most of you are. And again, another humble brag. This is a remarked version that he signed for me.
So nice. Doc, did you see in the chat here that the movie rocks too? I was not aware. I haven't seen it.
I'm kind of ashamed to say that I haven't.
I haven't seen it either.
Now that's watch over the weekend.
Is the movie called Whiteout?
Yeah.
I own all the comics signed by Greg Rucka, but I did not know there was a movie.
Yeah, there is. So this is, if you've never read it, for any of y'all who are watching, if you've never read this, it's fabulous reading. It's black and white, so that's old school, but you will not be disappointed. It's
mostly white.
Steve Lieber has just a great art style. I love Steve Lieber's art style, and he's really nice. I've met him at the cons. He's a really nice guy.
He is.
He was
Fourth on my
just chatting
list.
away with me, and I wasn't paying attention. I looked down, and he did a head sketch on my Metamorpho #1 while we were talking, and I looked, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
See, that's another reason to give them weird stuff that they don't see very much, because you'll get that.
Yeah, he was really nice.
All right, number 4 on my list, getting a little more obscure here. I don't know if anyone's read this, Enemy Ace War Idol by George Pratt.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, this is so good. Beautiful painted artwork, and it's essentially the story of a Vietnam veteran who has a lot of PTSD, who is a journalist, and he ends up talking to and interviewing Enemy Ace from 2 generations previous. And so there's a lot of heartbreak in this. They're sharing their war stories with each other to give themselves each, to comfort one another and to share their commonalities with the 2 different wars. It's beautiful. It's breathtaking. If you've never read it, it's definitely worth picking up. And then I saved this one for last. Y'all mentioned Frank Miller. I am going to throw out a Frank Miller book, but it might not be the one that you think it is. And if you are struggling through today's day and age, like a lot of us are, I think you should owe it to yourself to read Give Me Liberty, because it's very poignant right now. It's kind of a dystopic future, and there's a lot of similarities between this book and kind of what's going on in society right now. And of course, I'm a nerd, and I got the fancy slipcase of this because I like it. I like it so much. But I'm sure this is a book that a lot of people have read. They probably read it when it came out in the early 90s, mid 90s. I forget exactly what it was. It's right in that era.
It was I think
1990. But do yourself a favor and pick this one up. There is a lot of allegory between this series and 2026.
And remind us what an allegory is.
Do I know what allegory is?
No, remind us.
He was almost president, but the Supreme Court fucked him out of it. Right?
So hearing something that reminds you of something else, or experiencing something that reminds you of something else.
Oh.
So Give Me Liberty is my 5th. I just picked 5, so those are my 5 that I think are unsung, forgotten gems, and we will move on to the next person. Thank you for listening.
Well, I think we should also, real quick before we move on, Give Me Liberty, Dave Gibbons' art in that whole run was absolutely stunning. And yeah, Frank Miller can write if it had been drawn by Frank Miller, I don't think I would have had as much reverence for it. If he did the writing and the drawing. Dave Gibbons elevated that material. I think it really. Martha Washington is a great character, and they were just a great team on that. So.
And we're all old farts on this panel, and I'm sure there's people here who are 15, 20 years younger than us who probably have never heard of this. And so this is our call to arms, if you will, to pick this book up and give it a shot. I think it's still in print, as far as I know.
Drop recommendations in the chat. Because Ed would have a lot of good recommendations. Miracleman will be right back.
Eduardo's here, right on. I know you.
He has a lot of great stuff himself.
Oh yeah,
Tacoma, we saw you digging back there. Did you grab anything?
Oh yeah. I just, as I started seeing the wonderful stuff that Kevin was bringing out, I'm like, oh wait, ideas percolate. So I really went with like the lesser known or the stuff you don't hear, and I think because I'm so much into not just modern, but I sell once a week on YouTube videos. I'm very tuned into what sells well, which is not always what is a great read, right? What sells well is art or, vintage stuff that's super popular for reasons X, Y, or Z. So, I'm also an avid reader and collector on my own. I'm not just a flipper. So there's like some great series. You have to remind yourselves, like, I don't hear people talking about this, and I wish more people read this so that we could talk about it. So honorable mention, How Robots Work by oh wait, no, that's one of my books. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, bring that back up. Wait a second. You wrote a book?
I wrote 6 books.
Warning. 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 Banger alert. Banger alert.
We're learning new things about you here today.
Say, don't make me reach for my stuff up here on the shelf too. I'll fight you.
Oh, you guys are gonna have a book off.
Book off. This company here does like straight to school library publishing, and I got contacted by like a friend of a friend in the business who knew I was a robotics teacher. So this is my first one, how robots work, and then I did like 4 or 5 others, how 3D printers work, how sensors work, how controllers work, and then I did 2 like kiddie books, robots for kids and self-driving cars for kids. So that's all just a joke. I don't, those should be forgotten because they're out of date now and they were never that great. I don't know how many people have read The Sculptor by Scott McCloud. I actually saw somebody throw up a reel on this the other day. It is absolutely phenomenal. Scott McCloud, obviously from Scott Pilgrim, Understanding Comics. If you haven't read Understanding Comics, read it. It's all done in this like blue tone, black and white blue tones here. And it's a guy who made, you know, the Faustian bargain with the devil to get the powers to create. And it's always about, is my art good enough? But there's a tragic love story mixed in. If you ever get a chance, I see this at half price all the time for like $8.99, $12.99. Definitely Scott McCloud. The Sculptor. Another one that I absolutely love. There's 2 by Jean Luen Hang, Boxers and Saints. This is a history of the Boxer Rebellion in China, and it is just beautiful and so easy to read.
Oh, that's fabulous book. Yeah,
just gives you it's like a history text that doesn't like feel onerous to read at all. It's beautiful and breezy. He also has another one called American Born Chinese, and having a Chinese wife and a mixed kids, I would say that one's a great one too, especially if you want to read something about American Born Chinese. But
and more people have probably read American Born Chinese than that one, and so that serves as kind of the gateway book to that. I agree.
Yeah, this is just amazing. Right here, my favorite thing is Monsters. There's actually 2 volumes. This is thick. Mia Ferris, the only thing she has ever written, the first and only thing she ever wrote. And every single page of this incredible story about this 3rd grade girl living with her mom and her ne'er-do-well brother and neighbors in, like, I think it's a Chicago apartment complex in the 70s. Everything is made and designed so it looks like it was drawn on loose leaf paper in the school, in like high school in the 80s when you were bored. And it's heart-wrenching, it's fabulous, it's gorgeous, and it's just page after page of sumptuous pencil lines like this. This is another one I see go for cheap. There aren't any comics like single floppy issues, so it's only collected in these massive soft cover collections. Bless you. As far as I know.
Yeah, I just discovered that. I just read that like less than a year ago. It must have taken her forever to do that.
Yeah. And I mean, to have that much faith that you're not putting out single issues to see if it's doing well, you're not web publishing. She wrote the whole effing thing. And then just put it out. I think she's a college professor, if I remember right. Second to last, by one of my favorite authors, G. Willow Wilson, is Invisible Kingdom. This is a wonderful, gripping sci-fi love story that is also, it envisions Amazon as some sort of intergalactic empire that spans space and several star systems throughout space, and everybody works for them. And it also has a big part of religion, and how religion and faith can help fight against that, and a lot of themes that you see in a lot of G. Willow Wilson's work. Christian Ward does the art on this, and I love Christian Ward's art. It's absolutely fabulous. I don't know if this will do it justice, just random pages. This one is signed by G. Willow Wilson. Just throw that out there. But absolutely an amazing read. 12 issues in the run. Really, really easy to get through. And my number one lesser known book that I just think everybody should read. When Chew finished, and by the way, Chew TV show is coming out. When Chew finished, I thought like everybody would jump on the next thing that John Layman and Rob Guillory did. And then, of course, Guillory came out with Farmhand, but
Outside
COVID, and it's hard to like get comics going. But John Layman partnered with Sam Keith to come out with Eleanor and the Egret. And it's such a classic story with just bizarre twists. It's beautiful Sam Keith art and this crazy story about this woman who lives with her egret, and they steal artwork in France. You can see the egret is actually her hat. But the reason they steal the artwork is because the egret needs to eat art to stay alive. It's crazy, but it's different. And then, of course, there's a detective that goes after them, but there's also the actual artist of the artwork that they stole hires this evil kind of like private detective who is just this crazy Sam Keith concoction. Here he is right here, right? That's the way he looks. And they want to capture Eleanor and the egret and torture her. And eventually the detective finds out what's happening and is on their side. And turns out that the lady whose art they stole is a little shady herself. So it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful Sam Keith artwork. It's a fun read. It's short. I don't like that. I don't like Aftershock as a company. They screwed over Magdalene Visaggio with her Kim and Kim stuff. But anyway, there's a lot of adverts in the back, so each issue is actually kind of short because you got like 5 pages of advertisements. Wonderful series. So those are mine. Eleanor the Egret. My favorite thing is Monsters, Boxer and Saints, Invisible Kingdom, and The Sculptor.
I want to humble brag again. I'm going to take partial credit for discovering Rob Guillory.
There you go.
I was in when I was at Ape Entertainment, so my first gig when I was with them, and I forget what show. I think we were at San Diego actually, and he was in Artist Alley. Nobody had heard of him. He had never done anything before, and we liked his work at the table, and so we hired him to do an issue of, oh Christ Almighty, I'm having a blank. One of the books that we were doing, and whether that led to him getting Chew or not, I don't know. But he definitely, we kind of gave him his first break. He didn't make a lot of money with that one, of course, but yeah, I saw him before he made it big.
That's awesome. Hey, Rob, can you back up and highlight Comic Foil's comment about Murder Falcon?
Yeah, Murder Falcon as well as Do a Powerbomb. All those early Daniel Warren Johnson are amazing. But go ahead.
Right, but here's the thing, like so much of, and I think this is what tonight's episode is pushing back against, so much of what we read and remember is done so because you hear it's optioned. It's going to come out as a TV show, or there's going to be a second series. Like when something is just a beautiful standalone comic, you tend to forget about it, or you just don't talk about it because other people don't talk about it, which is why I think, this particular topic for tonight's episode is wonderful. But you could never buy any new comics and just go back and read stories you've missed and go for years doing that and be fulfilled, right? Of course, I don't do that.
Never be bored.
New stuff, but yeah, there's so much good stuff out there that I think doesn't get talked about because nobody's saying, hey, I think Murder Falcon's going to be a TV series,
Well, it's over, right? Like it leaves the social zeitgeist, even in our, little niche of nerddom. There's something new. There's something sexier. There's something,
Yeah. And some of the new stuff is great too.
Okay, so who wants to go next?
I'll go.
I can't wait to hear the lesser known Richie Rich like arcs though.
Right?
I was just about to throw up Michael there.
Well, you know, I feel like I'd be a nice change of choices from Tacoma's comics. He's got a lot, like the obscure modern stuff, great reads. You know, all that stuff is really great reads that you kind of like need to discover. Mine are more like, oh yeah, that book, I haven't thought about it in this amount of time, kind of stuff.
And I think that
I
was the
would say,
original theme of tonight. I think the unknown stories was my own idea.
oh no, you're good. No, but but yeah, nice little
Excellent
like,
choices.
back
Though.
and forth counter.
Yeah.
I thought those choices were all great. If you're looking for obscure stuff that was great, I can't recommend enough those kind of bouncing off what you're saying, Tacoma. Like books that had no follow up. In the 80s, they had a lot of miniseries. DC and Marvel both would do a bunch of miniseries, and I don't have these necessarily to show with what I grabbed here, but things like and not all of them were good. That's what they became a mini. Didn't go on because not all of them were good. But something like Cosmic Boy got his own miniseries. Falcon is actually a pretty good one, very underrated. Falcon Marvel, he had his own miniseries, and it had the X-Men in it. A lot of fun. One I did grab of an example of that would be GM Diamandis, Keith Giffen, Dr. Fate.
Oh yeah,
This is a great book. I would urge you to, if you can, get the original floppies and not get the collected versions on this one, which there are a few. Every time they collect this, they recolor it.
Oh, fucking sucks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the flats that was used on the original prestige format for this one, they're gorgeous. It's so perfect. Don't mess with perfection sometimes. You know, and if you can only get it uncollected, it's still fun. It's not like it ruins it, but you know, they're cool.
That's a book that hurts when they change the coloring. That is definitely a book that hurts.
And the series that Sean McManus illustrated, the Dr. Fate that came out like late 80s, early 90s, that's really good too.
That was a good one too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of books. I'm like, oh, I should grab this. I should grab that. Like the Spectre books from the 90s. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one I've got is, so I'm on a Mike Mignola kick. I have
as well. You
Michael
should be.
North has got one for me on backup. Well, wait, why don't we show yours since you got it? I own this. I need to get a replacement. This is a Marvel graphic novel.
Oh, nice.
Roger Stern, great story.
I knew that.
The Mignola artwork is gorgeous. When this book came out, this book blew me the hell away. It was the first time that I might get some facts wrong. I just remember it blew me away. First time I really remember them focusing on Doom's mother, and not just some like here's some random panel.
Right. We only know that she died and caused him torment, and that's why he's mean.
Yeah, that book. It's also available on Marvel Unlimited, so you can read it digitally. But that book, absolutely amazing, great ending. Just cannot recommend that book enough. One of my favorite underrated books. Spectre. I should have grabbed those. Those have the glow in the dark covers.
Yeah, I don't buy a lot of Omnibuy, but I did buy one for this. That's how much I like it.
Yeah, great book.
Omnibot.
On the Mike Mignola kick and kind of complimenting miniseries, there was this movie that came out about a vampire guy, a 4-issue miniseries, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh yeah, I just
Roy
got those last year.
Yeah, Roy Thomas wrote it, adapted the script. 4-issue miniseries by Mike Mignola. This is as good as the movie, guys. This book is so good. And no one talks about it. Whenever I do see it talked about on Blue Sky, people are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I totally forgot about that book. This jumped to mind for me. 4-issue series. I have no idea if it's up in some kind of trade. And it is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Topps was doing a lot of good stuff. It's too bad they only lasted like a year.
Yeah, they were great. They were hiring top tier talent.
Topps had some incredible creators.
Honest assessment. If it says Topps in the top left, as long as it's not an X-Files book, I pick it up. It doesn't matter. I
I
grab
will
it.
push back on that. The X-Files book was fun, and I have all of them.
All right. All right.
And
Hey, back in the day in Wizard, that was a top 10 book.
Oh,
And going
yeah.
for
X-Files
$50.
wasn't amazing, but it was
Yeah.
well written. The artists
Well,
on it
solid.
were, you know, hit and miss. Next one I've got, I wanted to do a little, a little later books, not just Copper Age up. So supervillain team up. You get Doc Doom, you get Submariner teaming up against other villains, usually Red Skull.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
Having a movement.
That series is fun, but it's an absolute train wreck. I mean,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's
That's
so
what makes it
inconsistent
fun.
from issue to issue.
The train wreck nature of this, I honestly feel like they didn't really know what they wanted to do with this book. They had no
Exactly,
cohesive
yeah.
vision. That half the time they would even go to reprint sometimes when they needed to get the book out anyway. It's a train wreck, and I love every. It's
The Comic
17
Quill knows
issues.
to
Yeah,
do
there
it.
you go.
10
Comic
artists
Quill
on
got it.
17 issues.
It's great. It really embodies for me the kind of energy they kept going with Marvel Team Up and like Marvel 2-in-1.
Energy it had. Energy it
Yeah.
had. Yeah.
No.
All right, I'm gonna go modern.
That was the era when they were putting out all these weird villain titles. DC had a Joker title. It had the Cobra title.
Cobra.
It had Secret Society as super villains in that era. You know, and Marvel was like Namor and Doctor Doom, and
They wanted a counter, right? They wanted to have something a little more.
Yeah, they had to put something out, man.
So then my next book, New 52, was talk about train wrecks. New 52 was a train wreck, but it was quantity over quality. And what it really fits for this category is that there were actually some great books in there.
Oh, yeah.
You had to move through it. This was my favorite major superhero New 52 book. It ran for, I'm gonna double check, I think it was 23. Yeah, 23 issues. This bad boy right here, Demon Knights. It's Tony S. Daniel cover right there.
All right.
It's medieval Justice League, guys. Medieval era Justice League. It was so much fun. It was written by Paul Cornell, and the artist Diogenes.
The writer Cornell was coming from Doctor Who in Great Britain. They went, hey, let's get him on DC Comics.
Yeah, this book is awesome. Bernard Chang took over halfway through. It every month. You were talking about books that come out and you're just like you wish people would have talked about it at the time. This book didn't get talked about, guys. This book got buried. I talk about it on Blue Sky. It's the only time that ever gets talked about. I swear to God. This book is amazing. Totally worth your time. I have no idea if they collected it. New 52 was a hot mess, and I enjoyed this book. Next up, I pulled out because we were talking before this got going about just books that it just who knows if anyone talks about him anymore. And that is this one right here, Strike Force Morituri.
We who are about to die.
We who are about to die. This series, you read it now, it ages solid, but the oh my gosh, any character could die at any moment isn't as novel these days in a modern sense. But at the time when this book came out, the fact that you introduce all these heroes and like basically every issue a hero dies was a really big deal. Great sci-fi fusing with the superheroes also. This is just a really, really good time. And I believe this is also good.
Hold on. Don't move on yet.
Okay.
Don't move on yet. Didn't you just ask who wrote it?
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
A fella by the name of Peter B. Gillis.
Gillis.
And you can see his autograph right there underneath Morituri.
Nice.
He unfortunately passed away. Excuse me, passed away just a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
But I got the opportunity to meet him multiple times.
And I believe Brent Anderson did the art, right?
Yes. So true story. I spoke to him about this. Strike Force Morituri. Shooter wanted to pull it. Talked to him about it first to be part of New Universe.
It looks like a New Universe book. That's what I was thinking. And
Gillis is like, no, I really want to own it. I don't want to give it up to Marvel. They went back and forth, but finally Shooter agreed to let him publish it. he would publish it and let him keep ownership of Strike Force Moratorium. And for those of you who don't know, every fucking person in this book dies. Everybody fucking dies.
Pretty much.
Not only that, they've optioned this for a TV show more than once.
More than once.
Never
It's like
happened.
Game of Thrones if they could get it to work.
Oh, yeah, way before its time. I mean, you just never knew who was gonna make it to the next issue. That's what made it so exciting.
Yeah.
All right, I got 2 left. I did a little searching on my account, and I talk way too much on Blue Sky. That's how my life is. These are hands down the 2 most books that get referenced in relation to my account. People who interact with me talk about how underrated it is. One of these books you'll probably be like, okay, whatever. But constantly people are like, I cannot believe people don't know more about this book. That this story is amazing, art's amazing. Why don't people talk about this more? And that is Marvel and DC presents the Uncanny X-Men and the New Teen Titans.
Great book.
Every page is incredible. Walt Simonson slayed on this book, guys. The story's all right. Chris Claremont, I actually heard Chris Claremont talking about this at Emerald City Comic Con. He's like, it's all right.
Was it Miracleman that told me that on most of the copies of that, if you go to the centerfold, most of them are falling out?
Yeah,
I heard somewhere around 3/4 are detached in the center. Mine, unfortunately, is also detached.
All right, y'all. Let's see how nerdy you are. Who summons Dark Phoenix?
Dark Side.
No, that's not the correct quote.
Oh.
You're missing an important word.
Dark Side.
Dark Side.
I'm like, I can picture the page.
We just thought you were asking the question, not asking for the quote.
Yeah. I didn't realize you were asking for the quote.
But yeah, no, this book, if you don't own it, the other thing that what makes this criminally underrated is that this book can be found very easily. Although if you care about detached center, you will actually want to open it and check. Ask the dealer,
good to know.
Obviously,
I gotta check
most
mine.
of these do have a detached center, including this copy. This book is like $20, guys. Maybe less. I've seen this $10 to $20.
I'm gonna check now.
Yeah. Cheap. They way overproduced these. They were in high. They used Baxter paper. Remember Baxter paper? They use Baxter paper, so they're all high grade.
I remember the Baxter building.
Wow, you remember the Backstreet Boys? Anyway.
It's great though, guys. Like seriously, it is a really good. It's definitely worth owning. Last one. This is easily the most common book I over the years on Twitter. Even every time it gets brought up, you get somebody who's like, "Oh my god, I have to find this," and then they find the whole series, all 4 issues plus the 3 specials. They'll find it on eBay for like $15 because it's like not worth jack. And that is Gil Kane's masterpiece, Sword of the Apple.
Oh yeah, baby.
This book is incredible. How do you pronounce Jan's last name? Sternad? It's like the
Sternad.
Sternad, the writer.
He ends up having sex with that frog, actually.
That's not that was in the behind the scenes on the special.
Who doesn't?
This is it's Adam meets John Connor of Mars, if you're not familiar with it, and it is so much fun. It is some of the most fun that you can buy in comic books, honestly, in my opinion. Like you get the most important is to get the 4-issue series. There is 3 specials, all 3 are fun, but the core of this book is definitely the best part.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what I got for you guys. All of those are bangers. They really are definitely worth tracking down.
Very good.
I love
Definitely do a cumulative banger alert at the end.
I was fishing.
I love it when you come back from a close up on one of us, and 2 or 3 of us have got a comic, our nose buried in a comic. It's so
I mean, that's just
so appropriate.
And Vincent, you got to get a clear board for that book too. By the way, clear board.
Yeah.
I need to buy clear boards. I don't have any.
You do.
Is yours attached, Kevin?
Yes, it's attached. I checked. That made me grumpy, but it is what it is.
Aww.
I probably haven't opened this book since I rebagged it. So
Just the
I mean,
way they
honestly,
are.
I wouldn't be shocked if most of us, or if all of us, had a detached copy. It's that
I'll
common.
be honest with you. I don't even think CGC should count that against you. I think they should be like, "Yep, nope, that's just the way that book is, man."
I
To
mean,
manufacture
Miracleman, I pulled out
He gets
3
the middle
copies,
page.
Yeah.
and one of them was attached. All the others,
Yeah.
and the one that was attached was to the lowest grade.
I think I own 4 copies, and only one of them's attached.
I like
So-
what Michael's showing. That's a great book.
Oh, look at that! You
Okay.
own
after the
you
Grey
own
Mouser,
comics. That's a deep cut for a guy who buys Richie Rich.
I thought you only owned Richie Rich comics.
I'm gonna show. That's gonna be the
There's
last
a
one.
crossover at
Have
some
you not
point.
seen all his Adam Strange appearances in JLA?
No, he's
a lot
got
of
some good shit. I'm
DC.
just busting his
Yeah.
chops.
I don't have it. It's the best Richie Rich miniseries. It's the Rich Knight Returns. It's an older Richie Rich coming back. You gotta get it.
Miller did a great job on it.
The Rich Knight Return. You fucking dork.
Hey, look what we did here. We turned on RA to clear boards.
Okay. So this is first of all, I love Fritz Lieber. I love these novels, and they're beautifully captured. Howard Chaykin tried to do kind of an adaptation of them. I forget the writer of it, but it didn't hit the mark as much. But Mike Mignola, perfect. It's a perfect adaptation of the novels. Obviously not as rich as the novels, because novels are novels, but as good as you possibly can ask for. Fafford and the Grey Mouser. I love it. Again, if you're a fan of books and fantasy, you got to read the originals, but these are beautiful adaptations by Mike Mignola. And Howard Chaykin actually wrote these ones, so he was better at writing them than drawing them, I guess.
That is so awesome because I've never heard of that before.
Oh, it's a great book.
It's funny how everybody's pulling out all these tertiary Mike Mignola pieces. It's awesome.
I like the
And
trend.
you guys are going to get to see him in a few weeks. Is it next week or a few weeks? This is Jose
J-O-G-O.
Luis Garcia Lopez.
Yeah.
Listen, you cannot say a Spanish name with a Canadian accent. That's just not fucking allowed. You never do that again.
Okay,
You're
so
like
it's Josie,
Jose.
Josie
Rosie
Lewis.
Louie.
You know, I have actually never read that book. That one has been on my to get list, but I've never gotten it.
Look, the story, I don't know if, I mean, it's Jerry Conway, so it's a solid story, but again, it's the art. And as you've heard me kind of complain, I love Garcia Lopez, but he didn't do a lot of series. So this is one of, one of the few he stuck with, and he did from beginning to end. This is a huge favorite of mine. I got to gush over this series with the writer, Carl Potts, to his face. And I got to talk to him. So this is called Shadow Master. Now they say coming from the Punisher, but who cares? It really doesn't reference the Punisher at all. What is it? It's basically learning to be a ninja. It's like Ninja 101. They actually train to be ninja. What I loved about it and what I gushed to Carl's face about it was all the little details it does. If you've never read it, like the one I gushed about, he basically trains crickets to get used to him. So the crickets won't make noises when he's coming along. Like, and I
Shut
just
the
like,
fuck up.
where did you come up with this, Carl? And he actually had talked to a ninja master and learned a lot of their tricks. So he brought that into the book. Amazing. Yeah, he's an amazing writer, Carl Potts. He also did one of my other, I'm not going to bring it out, but Alien Legion, probably not remember it as well.
Legion,
Classic.
Love it too, but probably not a lot of people have heard of this. Probably super easy to get, but it's just a story I can read over and over again. Love it to death.
I've honestly never heard of that one. Never seen it.
Okay, so I'll get to some graphic. Now I collect a lot of graphic novels. He Who Should Not Be Named, I guess, but this really got me. They've done a lot of great James Bond graphic novels lately, but this is the one that kind of drew me in. It's simple, it's clear, but I loved it because, to be honest, the James Bond movies lately haven't been doing it for me writing wise. So I really actually love the graphic novels more, and this was like the first one to get me into it. Warren Ellis's little double thing, but there's a lot of great ones. Greg Rucka's done some great ones. There's a lot of great ones. This one introduced me to a writer I really have fallen in love with, and a artist I really fell in love with. This was my first experience with this.
Dynamite.
and it's an amazing, and also I love Flash Gordon, and it's a great Flash Gordon story just in general. But Jeff Parker, I don't think he gets talked about a lot. I'm sure a lot of comic fans know him. He 9 times out of 10 he writes a really solid story, nothing flashy, nothing like that's going to be made into a movie, but just good solid characters, good solid plotting. And Evan Shaner, oh sorry, what's wrong? He's going to be sleeping on his couch tonight. What did he do? What's
He's
wrong?
listening to us.
Oh, am I too loud? I'm too loud.
All of us are too loud.
Okay, I'll be quieter. Okay, so so Evan, Doc Shaner. I love his art. He's a guy who doesn't do a lot of full series. I mean, he does some series, but yeah, this was a great. If you want a good representation of his art, it's his early art. It's a great series. I love Flash Gordon. This is one of the best Flash Gordon adaptations in comics I've seen. A little shout out to a Canadian. It's really small. Maybe this is why people don't read it. Grass Kings. Yeah, okay. It's so
He's so forgotten that he didn't even remember the title.
I thought it was Grass Kings, but it was like there was too many letters for that.
Grass Kings was awesome. Yeah,
I love it.
Action.
He's an Eisner winner. And yeah, it's like, why do I love it? Great simple story, but I love the watercolors. It's just beautiful. Very simple story. What's it about? It's a little mystery in this isolated community that's isolated themselves from the real world. Everybody has a reason for being in this isolated kingdom. And then there's a little murder mystery to go with it. There's also books 2 and 3. I think it loses a little bit of steam by volume 3, but definitely the first volume I really love a lot.
Good choice.
I'm going to throw in
great series like that. He's another one that I really like by him was Department H.
Oh, he's so unsung. I mean, he's one of the best writers out there right now. Everything he does.
That one Keanu Reeves book, right? That
Berserk. Yeah, he writes on like 3 levels at the same time, which is what I really like about it. I mean, if you've never read Mind Management, which is kind of his magnum opus, and he's bringing it back soon,
it's coming out.
Do yourself a favor. So good.
Okay, I'm going to do a little shout out. Dan Slott gets love and not love, but this to me is why I love Dan Slott and when he was at his best. It's just a fun little mini series. It celebrates the character. And it's got some great art in it too, but I just love it. It's one of kind of the comfort foods. If I want to go back to a novel that's just fun, easy to read, no baggage around it, some just fun, good self-contained stories, episodic stories. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. And it's when Dan Slott, it's what I love about Dan Slott. He celebrates the medium and he celebrates the history of the characters. I understand maybe over the past years he isn't a
constrictor and love me.
But Spider-Man fans are never going to be happy with what Spider-Man does.
And I'll say Slott is good when you don't have to take it too seriously. If he's having fun with the book and he's allowed to have fun with the book, he's at his strongest. Like he did an Iron Man run that wasn't my favorite, but he had fun the whole dang. I don't know, it was like a 30-issue series or something. It's like, you know what? And I admired that he was able to just have fun with it. When
I loved his Great Lake Avengers.
He's kind of like a more serious Jerry Dugan. For me, anyway.
Now, this is the series when we were talking after a show a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
Well, we finally see Miracleman.
Where's the corn warning?
I don't know how you say it. It's probably the same as
Miracle
Jose
Pussy.
Luis Garcia Lopez.
Beat me to it.
Okay.
What is that cat doing?
Miracleman's actually a lot handsomer than I thought he'd be.
Uh-oh. No, because we showed some pussy.
We got a strike.
Okay. So what can I say about this? So it's Alan Moore. Miracleman might have had it on his list, so he's probably going to do it better justice than I. What is it? It's the best way to summarize it. It's a celebration of Silver Age Superman. What? Yep. Wait, this is Supreme. But it basically takes the tropes of Superman, all the craziness of all the different kryptonites, the Phantom Zone, his villains, and it's the most compelling story. You have to read it to believe it. And sadly, I think it's really hard to get hold of, unfortunately, but it's one of those things. It's like, wow, this should be up there with Dark Knight, The Watchmen. This is just the most perfect story and the perfect look at comic books. And it's Alan Moore at his finest, taking this weird character that wasn't going anywhere and saying, you know what, I'm going to take it and do the most amazing story ever with it. Like as only
which
Alan
book did
Moore
that
could
spin
do.
off of again? I always lose track of those. Which book did that spin off from again?
Supreme.
Supreme started as Supreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
90s,
he didn't
90s
appear in
image
something else
goofy
first?
Supreme.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like Comic Foil says here, which is absolutely correct. If you want to make a great Liefeld book, just don't let him be involved with it.
Yep. Always the best Liefeld books.
Okay. I'm going to go way back to my childhood.
Uh-oh.
I pulled those out yesterday.
These are for, again, just kind of like Fritz Lieber and Pfafford and the Gray Mouser. This started as a novel that I loved as a child, and then they made a graphic novel of it. That what's most amazing to it, first of all, is nice. I didn't know they came in.
You and I might be the only people who actually own these. I got volume 2.
Whoa! I didn't know they had.
If anybody rips out a asterisk and Obelix.
I got them.
So
I think they're downstairs though.
is it Phil Foglio, Kevin?
Phil Folio, yeah.
Folio, okay. So again, the art's amazing. What's more amazing to me is the novel's great, but then the writer said, well, I get a second chance at telling the same story, and he adds to it and does twists at the end that he never did in the original novel. This is the original author writing this too, and that blew my mind. He added more to the history, he gave more backstory. So it's amazing to me, somebody who loves the novel, this adds to it and takes it even further, because the writer says, oh, I'd like to redo some certain things and change the ending around a little bit. And yeah, so it's good on its own, and it's
terrific. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to end with an artist that I love, and in general, I think he's underrated. Maybe I feel that way because I don't think he gets celebrated enough. So I'll just say his Plastic Man. So it's Kyle Baker, who I'm celebrating. He's crazy and wonderful in Plastic Man. This is a novel I've read so many times.
Piranha Press.
It's just, what is it? Why I Hate Saturn? It's hard to describe. It's basically just kind of an ordinary tale about a woman, and relationships, and her relationship with her sister, and with humor and beautiful art. It's really hard to describe the story because it's not really like an epic story, but it's just a beautiful, perfect story about everyday life in a twisted way. And
that's the collected one there, right? Because I have individual issues of that one.
I will be surprised if anybody knows this one, but it's...
Here you go, Michael.
Oh.
So... Oh,
look at that.
Oh, I love him. I hope he's nice in person, because he
is very nice. Yeah.
He seems wonderful through his art and his writing. So this is not written by Kyle Baker, but oh my God, I don't know how to describe it. Again, it's based on, you probably seen the old 1970s cover for Justice Inc. And basically Andy Heffler, who did The Shadow, a wonderful run on The Shadow as well, decided to re-update it. And it's just a perfectly two issues, perfectly self-contained, the most amazing art ever. Kyle Baker at his best, and prestige format at the time, and just a wonderful little story. And it came and went. Most people don't know about it, but I just love this story to death. It's just a nice little self-contained story. Justice Inc. about a man who can take on the faces of anybody he wants to. And basically, yeah, it's just a beautiful little spy story. So that's mine.
All right.
Right.
Nice.
Well, I guess who's left?
Miracleman.
He's number one. He's number one.
All right, now look, fucking aspersions cast upon
That'd be a
show.
great name for comic. Fucking aspersions.
The fucking aspersions. Look, I'm gonna say right off the bat, totally agree. Strike Force Moratorium was absolutely on my list, Vincent. That was an excellent choice. Fantastic series. Ran like 30 some issues. Then they had a 4-issue Prestige mini afterwards. Fuck that shit. Never read that. It was like Electric Undertow. Don't get screwed over and spend any money on trash. Just read the original Peter B. Gillis series. You will thank our fine feathered friend, Mr. Vinson Loves Comics over here, for turning you on to it. Again, one of the greatest. I mean, just it's creator owned. It's through fucking Marvel in the mid '80s, right? The only
Miracleman. I grabbed this off the spinner rack, and let me tell you, I was 86, right? So I was 12. That series blew my freaking mind.
Way ahead of time.
And it's early Brent Anderson. It's early Brent Anderson too. I mean, if you're a fan of Astro City, check it out.
Yeah. Well, and then Astro City came out. I'm like, oh yeah, Brent Anderson. I'm sure that series doesn't hold up. Like this. That was like 12 years later, and so I pull out my Strike Force, and I'm like, son of a bitch. But it actually was better when I was older than at the time when I first read.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. Even the Canadian can be right once in a while. Hands down, one of the greatest comic series you will ever read, period, is Moore and Sprouse. Veach does some of this. It's I can't say anymore. The Canadian said it right. Canadian, good job. Write this down. You're never going to hear that again. Now, let's get into books. Let's start off with a little mainstream and get a little less mainstream. So first up, for books that are just plain old forgotten and don't seem to get talked about it at all anymore. What about Garth Ennis and his entire run on the Demon? Huh?
Yeah.
Now look, a lot of people have probably never read a Demon book. They keep trying, DC keeps trying. Jack Kirby brought the character out in the 70s. They did a mini in the late 80s. They did this run in the 90s. This ran 58 issues plus an annual plus a 0 issue. Not actually 2 annuals plus a 0 issue. And created a lot of goofy little characters. One of the biggest ones, Hitman, right here. Another basically forgotten series. Fantastic character. Okay, part of the Bloodlines storyline. Becomes I'm telling you, you will read this story and you will know these characters. One of the things Garth Ennis does incredibly well is make characters that you can connect with, that by the end of reading their series, you'll feel you have lost somebody you knew. And that's how you feel with Tommy Monahan in Hitman. It's the same feeling I had with Preacher, Jesse Custer, Tulip, and I mean,
he became buddies with frickin' Superman.
Right. It's just incredible, right? And they're not that long ago. Now, another series that we just don't hear enough about, but features a ton of the late, great Keith Giffen kind of experimental art. It also
Trencher,
Video Jack,
Dennis Cowan work in it. Hex.
Okay.
Right.
Is that the future one?
That's the future one. When Hex, the original Jonah Hex series ends, and I believe we recently were talking about this, Mr. Mint. He flashes out. There's a flash of bright light, and he disappears, and he shows up in the future. And then he runs 18 insane ass issues, an apocalyptic wasteland, a nuclear destroyed Earth, super science, aliens, and at the very end of it, he goes back to his own time, but before he does so, he finds his own taxidermied corpse in a storage room. Look, I'm not a big Western guy, nothing against him. I just don't find a lot of connect with Jericho. Was definitely Jeremiah was definitely an exception, but I don't typically connect with those, right? The Hex story wasn't really a Western, although it was just a future Western. Incredible story. 18 issues. You won't
future Western, like future Firefly.
Mandalorian.
You want to talk about another series that's basically just forgotten from DC, The Warlord, the original Travis Morgan, trapped in the center of the earth, starts off in a tunic, right? Ends up in like some Boogie Nights style fucking This dude's name, he's got a mace for a hand. Mace, right? Look,
I feel like Miracle Man's just pandering to me right now.
I'm not. Incredible book. You should, because you said I was going to show weird shit, right? I remember 1963 so good. I almost pulled that, actually.
I thought about it too. Yeah.
Yep. Now we're going to go to Marvel, right?
Of course. I knew someone was going to pull Squadron Supreme.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Squadron Supreme, Mark Gruenwald. Look, this is, as a kid, first book I found was this one, the last issue, off the spinner rack. Right now, this isn't the copy. My copy got read to shreds. But I see all these heroes fighting each other, and this group is betrayed by people in that group, and it turns out some people in that group were bad guys all along, but actually some of them were good guys. They used to be on their team, and then a whole bunch of them kill each other, and only some of them survive, and it all counted. Mark Gruenwald, writer of this book, passed away, probably cancer. Let's be honest. I don't know why, but
did they? I don't think they said, but he passed real young.
He passed very young, but before he died, he had a final wish, and that was when they created a trade paperback of the Squadron Supreme, that they would mix his ashes in with the ink and print the first printing of the Squadron Supreme trade paperback, and they did that.
RA says that it was a heart attack.
What's that?
RA in comments says it was a heart attack.
Oh, it was a heart attack. Yeah. Okay.
The one with the ashes goes for about $300. It is impossible to find.
I remember reading that in Wizard and previews and going, maybe I should order that. Fucking idiot. Now let's get a little more.
One. You got to wheel and deal with him.
Look, when you're in comics, boys, you celebrate your wins and you forget your losses. I was talking about this to the guys after the show a couple of days ago. Everybody remembers Glory, right, from the extreme era of comics. Well, back in the earlier aughts, maybe the mid tens, early tens, Glory came back, and instead of being like a really generic Wonder Woman, she was a badass warrior woman, right? Glory was an incredible return to comics. 12 issues, 13 issues, something like that, very many. Came back at 23, ended at 34, so like a year. Here's a Ulysses Farinas cover, autographed by Ulysses Farinas. And if you don't know who Ulysses Farinas is, do yourself a favor and look up his work. Ulysses Farinas. Some of the coolest art you'll find on the internet. Don't know what he's doing anymore. He did some books about 10 years ago. Fantastic. Did a Judge Dredd Mega City 2 book. Did this cover. Met him once. Signed my book. Really nice guy. But Glory came back and did this just incredible story about how, yeah, she's a warrior woman, but she's also like half alien. There's her alien dad after she jacked him up. One issue in this, she actually breaks Supreme's arm. I think he comes on to her or tries to tell her what to do, and she just snaps Supreme's arm. This was great. And around the same time, another book came out, Prophets. Again, a title from the extreme era of comics. Prophet came back, and Brandon Graham worked on it. And he made this insane sci-fi story. So far into the future, man had left Earth, they colonized space, and man had been gone from Earth so long that the people left behind had actually devolved into ape creatures. And these guys, this guy back here, this little bug-looking guy, he's actually a farmer of the human apes. And this is a wolf that also has a parasitic alien attached to it. And this John Prophet is a clone of the original Prophet. And it turns out that when when humans left Earth and colonized space, they created something called an Earth Empire. And the John Prophets were the foot soldiers, the cloned foot soldiers of the Earth Empire. And tens of thousands, Same character, Ed. Same character. So bad, the original. So bad. This was insanely good. Find this. If you can get this, Ed, find this. This is great. Incredible sci-fi story. Some of the wildest shit I've ever seen. Now, this ran like another 30 issues. Then there was a break. And then they did something called Prophet Earth War. It kind of jumped the shark at the end. I think they kind of drug it on a little too long. And it starts to get a little confusing. But I'm telling you, man, you read the first 10 issues of this book, you will not be able to put it down. You will tear through them. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal story. Now, I got 2 more to go. I'm going to show you 2 more. Okay. And the last one's more of an honorable mention than anything else. Here's one for you, though. Hellspawn. Right? Now you're going to go Hellspawn. MM. You don't read that shit. The fuck you got a Spawn book for?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Everybody go, what the fuck? What the fuck? So Hellspawn, Todd McFarlane, in a dispute with he who shall not be named.
God.
Lower.
He got into a dispute with him over the rights to Angela. Weird, right? Todd McFarlane, who left and founded Image because he wasn't taken care of. His creator rights were abused by Marvel, right? Decides to abuse the creator rights of another creator. Now, yes, that creator ended up being a scumbag and a huge fucking disappointment. But he still deserved his rights, right? His rights, his creator rights, he deserved. And to hold, so that creator sued Todd McFarlane, and to hold it over that creator's head, that creator went to the Eclipse bankruptcy auction and bought what he thought was all the IP of Eclipse Comics, who originally published Miracleman. But guess what? Eclipse didn't own it. But Todd McFarlane, in his hubris, did not realize that. And so he thought he owned Miracleman, and in Hellspawn introduces a character named Mike Moran.
Why?
Now, Mike Moran is the alter ego, the human counterpart of Miracleman. Mike Moran would say the magic word Komoda and turn into Miracleman. So he introduces a character named Mike Moran. Now, nothing ever comes out of it in the Hellspawn series. However, later in Spawn, in the Spawn universe, Man O' Miracle shows up, and he looks pretty much like my homeboy right here. I mean, he's wearing... Go ahead.
Are you a fan of Miracleman?
I've been known to dabble. Now, the last one, like I said, is going to be an honorable mention. Now, another guy who ended up being a huge fucking disappointment.
The list is long.
The list is fucking long, boys. And the reason this is an honorable mention, because this book, breaking news. Most dudes, scumbags. Everybody here knows the book Planetary, right?
Love it.
One of the greatest books ever made, period. Creator, writer, turns out to be a piece of shit. And here's the thing. Here's why I think he's a piece of shit. I wouldn't have said he was a piece of shit like if he was a regular guy, right? I would have said, hey, man, you fucked up. You need to fix that, right? Like, but I wouldn't have gone to piece of shit level. Piece of shit because he used to talk about how he was the opposite of that guy. Right? People make mistakes. And if they own them and try to fix them and try to fix themselves and accept responsibility, that's one story. This motherfucker didn't do that. So I don't buy his books anymore. However, he made Planetary, which was an incredible amalgamation of all these fictional characters. And another book he made, which is not as well known, but is the same in spirit, if not the tone, is Ignition City for Avatar. Now, I recommend reading this book because despite the fact that the writer is kind of a scumbag, the artist didn't do shit wrong. So the artist doesn't deserve to forever have his work tainted. Ignition City is a story much like Planetary or much like, say, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where the writer took a bunch of characters. Who's this guy kind of reminds you of with his little flash on his shirt? Took a bunch of characters and put them in a sci-fi setting. This is essentially an island where every astronaut and this is a world where space travel was much more common and done a lot earlier, and people were like literally like just hopping in personal spaceships and flying out to the moon and shit. And there's aliens on here. Well, they shut down the space program and took all those space adventurers and threw them on one tiny little island, and things haven't been going well for them, right? You see this guy over here? He's kind of vomiting because he's a drunk. But it's a bunch of characters of pastiches of well-known sci-fi characters that you probably are very well aware of, like Dan Dare or Flash Gordon or Yuri the dog that they put in the space capsule. Now that one was real, but the Russians put in the space capsule, the dog cosmonaut. This is a really great, fun book. It's not very long. Avatar is essentially, I mean, yeah, they still exist, but they're not publishing anymore. But they are still selling this shit off their website. So you could go on there right now. Fucking A, right? Fucking A, right? They all do, kind of, if you think about it. I mean, all of them look like characters from different ones, but you're absolutely right about this one. As a very Dave Rocketeer looking character. But yeah, honestly, I really do recommend take a look at this one. Look it up. Yeah, Bennett is a douchebag. It's a lot of fun. You know, I hope someday that our writer really assesses, you know, the mistakes he's made and makes serious efforts to resolve them. I would like to read his work again, but I cannot financially support somebody like that until I see him put in the work. Anyway, that's
Ellis is a lost cause. I'm sorry.
I know.
He's going right there with the shall not be named earlier. Too many victims is too obvious. The pattern's very obvious.
It's incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
So who won, guys, in the chat? Who won?
I don't know. I haven't gone yet.
Rob hasn't gone yet.
All right.
Well, yeah, we got Rob to go still.
Kevin, this will give you an opportunity to play with the chat, put the comments on the screen, because this is when like I am not paying as close of attention.
I got you, bro.
All right, let me change the camera here and let's see what I pulled. So starting off, I grabbed Basket.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how many people remember this series, but it's written by Joe Hill, which is the son of Stephen King. He was doing some books for Marvel all the way back in the early 2000s, but this is when they gave him his opportunity to go, hey, do whatever you want. And they gave him his own universe. And I heard that this will be turned into something at some point, but we have not heard any production notes since then. Now, a long time ago, you might all remember Why the Last Man and Saga, but this is the unsung wonder of Ex Machina. This came out right after 9/11. It prefaced it by showing that this guy, the mayor, is somebody that put on this superhero outfit and he saved one of the Twin Towers. So they elected him mayor of New York. There's a lot of spy activity. There's a lot of noir in it, and it stuck the landing. And it's because of that I'll stick with Brian Michael Vaughan no matter what, despite the fact Saga might be turning into like Hush Part 2. We might never see it end, but fingers crossed. Right? Now, they just started advertising on YouTube lately a compendium of Hellraiser. And if you were on the fence about it, this was actually really, really good. It was written by Clive Barker and the art was good. They turned Kirsty into a king of hell, queen of hell. And it was only 20 issues long, had an annual, and I can't recommend it enough. Back in the 80s, we had Mage, and these ran in about 15 issues or so. And yes, Comic Foil is absolutely right. The audience is winning with this because I'm not trying to compete here. Some of y'all might, which is fine. But this was a great series. They just wrapped it up maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. And if you ever get a chance to read this, even if it's in compendium form, it's absolutely worth it. Now, I was told that everybody knows what this is. It's written by Grant Morrison. Well, this is what brought JLA back to the fold of being the premier team at DC. Because before this, it was a canceled series. It ran its course in the 90s, and they gave him the opportunity to write it, or them the opportunity to write it. And did a bang up job. If you ever watched the episode of the animated series where you saw that Batman wound up using all of the weaknesses of the Justice League members to take them all out, and it was exploited against him, this is where we got Batman with prep time. Before this, Batman was just a normal dude that had great detective skills and a lot of money. This is what gave us prep time Batman. And for that, a lot of people are still pissed off about it. For me, my favorite Batman story, perhaps of all time, it came in the middle of a Tom King run. And this is Date Night. This is when you have Superman and Batman go out with their respective partners, and Superman comes through, he comes down an elevator, and he's asked, why didn't you just come through the window? Like, it'd be too much effort, and I have a date. And does your boyfriend wind up cleaning his outfit? No, or husband, he doesn't clean his either. Isn't that weird? Yeah. Lois and Catwoman mesh.
Their banter is the highlight for sure.
I love that the series.
Not
a lot of action, but that's not what I was reading it for. It was great character development, great character work. And he's not only getting permission. Wow. Oh yeah. So I grabbed this one out here because it was because of Aaron Myers that I picked this up. And I remember back in the 1980s and the 90s, if you were going through long boxes of $1 box or quarter bins, you would see a great deal of the run of Rom Space Knight in there. And as it turns out, it's really, really good. And if you haven't gotten a chance to read it before, it's something where I believe they released that in large form trade paperback. So if you get a chance to read this, do pick it up.
Not only that, but aside from issue 1, if you're persistent, you can get except for the X-Men crossover issues, you can get almost every single issue of ROM for like $2 to $5
easily.
If you're a collector guy, you're like a run collector like I am. It's fun because you're just like, oh, I got 18. You just pick them up here and there. The X-Men issues are the only exception to that.
Yeah. Well, I picked up a couple of trade paperbacks here, and I got these mostly because when it was coming out, these series were really stupid expensive. This became a very expensive, hard to find book for the original issues. This is the collected run. And much like how if you watched Pan's Labyrinth, this is a lot of World War II stuff. And it's fantastical. It has that wash feel to it. The storyline is gripping. And I was not expecting that when I picked this up. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but if you're into this kind of stuff for war books, you're going to like that. Another thing that came out a long time ago, but they have been releasing some updates lately, Mouse Guard. They were going to make this into an animated series, and it got pulled from Netflix. I can't understand why. The original issues of these wound up being ridiculously overpriced to the point that I really just didn't want to buy them because they were not regular comic size. It was just like this square format, and it's brilliantly illustrated. It's very emotional. And I should have even grabbed out. Oh, yep, there we go. RA has it right about ROM.
Storage nightmare.
Oh, yes. Anything that is just irregularly sized, it's a nightmare to store, and it's one of the prohibitive reasons why I usually don't get that stuff. But if it can fit on a bookshelf, I'll pick it up. Now, for those that were fans of Brian Michael Bendis way back in the day, he came from doing crime. Now, if you like crime series, this guy was really able to do the back and forth, just like an old noir story. And back then, he was illustrating everything himself until he was brought into the Marvel offices back in, I think, the year 2000 or so. And Joe Quesada sat him down and went, "We want to hire you to work on Ultimate X-Men." He's like, that sounds kind of great, but I don't know if I can draw superheroes. No. You're not an artist. You're a writer. And from there on, his entire path forward in comic books forever changed. People thought way back when that he was a I don't know, a hit overnight, but he was working in the industry for a good decade before he hit it big. And if you ever get a chance to read these old crime stories, just like Greg Rucka, it's phenomenal. Jinx and Goldfish, pick it up. And two more that I'm going to show for you. They just optioned this for a movie. I picked this up based off of the art that I was watching on comic book resources back in the day. Charles Burns, Black Hole. This is a epidemic that's going on in a small town where if you have sex, you don't just get a venereal disease. You don't just fall asleep like Michael over here. You start, and I don't know if I'm going to have to throw up the corn alert here at any point, but it all looks like wood carvings for the art. It's just beautifully done. But when you have that venereal disease, it kind of turns you into a monster of a sort. And it's slow. Oh, there you go. There's some more things coming.
Oh.
It's a beautifully drawn book. I highly recommend picking this up. And while the art's fantastic, the story is just as good. Now, the last thing I want to show is something that, because Lady Fantastic suggested this, and people might be familiar with the artist, and it is definitely a spider killer. It is huge. It is heavy. It is thick. That's what she said. And this, I don't know how much I could show from this because I don't want to spoil too much. This is the masterpiece of Barry Windsor Smith. You might remember him from Conan. Come on, it's not that bad. Yeah, so
Weapon X.
This is Weapon X. This is where the Hulk wound up getting his powers. This is his origin story. It's told from a perspective as though, what if the Hulk existed in real life? It only came out in this format, oversized, and I'm only going to show a first few pages because this is something I do not want to spoil. It is beautifully illustrated, and some of the aspects of this was stolen for the actual Hulk comic book, such as the father in here was abusive. He wasn't abusive back then, but he wound up incorporating that into the storyline. And when Hulk finally starts presenting himself, it's not like the rage monster we see. It's just a really, really tragic story. And it all comes full circle. And this is something you could read all in one sitting. And it's beautifully illustrated. It's emotional. You don't know where the story's going to go next. I cannot recommend it enough. This is something that many people have never heard of, or if they have heard of it, they just mostly forgot about it. And that's what this episode has been tonight about.
And just a little warning, it is very dark. It's very dark and depressing. So yeah, just be ready for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've
Oh,
honestly had nobody actually
what's the name of that
much.
horror comic you suggested again? That is Stuff of Legend. This came out in the early part of the 2000s. There you go. The artwork is what initially sold me, but when I read it, I was not expecting how dark it was, but it reminded me of like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah. There's a free comic book day with that book in it from 2014 or 2016, something like that.
Never heard of it. I'm glad that we all were able to show you all things that you might never seen. It took about a good hour and a half of our show, but now we can all start showing some books that we picked up. That's why I didn't pick up.
What you get?
I don't know what you get, Vincent. You're right next to
me. Kevin. Well, I thought we'd go in order. Yeah, Kevin, what'd you get this week?
Rob knows how many books I got this week. Hello.
Uno.
You're not ready. I'm sorry. I put you on the
I'm
block.
ready. So some of y'all saw this. I posted it a day or two ago, and y'all know me. I'm not a big variant cover person, but I saw one on Blue Sky or somewhere. One of y'all showed it to me. I forget. And I was like, that cover rocks. I must have it. And it's this one, The Women of Marvel. It's the Audrey Mock. I think that's her name. Cover. The cover tells an entire story. That's why I like it so much. So I picked that up, got that on eBay. I think Tacoma recommended it or told me there was some on eBay, so I grabbed one. I got one issue of Lois Lane. This is number 94.
Oh yeah,
Evil Magic
That's
Mirror
good stuff.
cover. Yeah,
Yummy,
we could probably do a
yummy.
whole video on Evil Magic Mirror covers.
Is that a 9.5 or plus, or is that just the Mylar?
I might have that behind me. What is
I
this?
got it at a very fine near mint 9.0. Mylar makes
gorgeous
everything
stuff.
look better. Y'all know that. And then I
I
just
put it
got
on my
this.
face in the morning.
I just got this yesterday, but it's a nice one to check off the list. It's JLA number 30. It's about a VF minus, so not quite as nice as I would prefer, but it presents really well. And that,
She's pretty.
Ew.
yeah,
Bam.
twinsies.
In your face, Kevin.
JLA number 30. I don't have an ego to bruise. Y'all can do that all day.
So is that like the fake Justice League?
The
It's the
crime
most
syndicate.
dangerous Earth of all. Yeah, it's
Crime
Is it Crime
Syndicate.
Syndicate?
Yeah,
yeah,
love
it's kind
it.
of the evil
Love it.
mirror doppelgangers that they're fighting. Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
the,
that's
it's the
great.
second part to it. It's the
I don't
second
think
part.
I have number 29.
First cover appearance of the Ring.
I'll have to check, but I don't think I have 29. But you know, when you're looking for old JLA, if you see one nice, it's relatively affordable, you just get it, and you don't worry about the continuity, at least to start. I just got 3 books this week. That's it. I'll have a lot more next week.
All right.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I
So we're
was
going in
lucky enough-
order. What
Yeah.
What happened to order?
Yeah,
Whatever.
What
This is
happened?
anarchy.
Sorry,
boy?
What
Ian,
is
I'm sorry.
going
Go ahead,
on?
Ian.
We're throwing out the format.
I'm being pushy. Oh, I got the highlight. Suck it, Ian. No, I'm kidding. I was lucky enough to go to a little mini con in the Seattle area. I tried to convince Tacoma to go, but he had to
I was
deal with
broke.
this stuff, be a dad and stuff, you know.
He was treating an STD.
What
And
the fuck, man?
went a little dark there. So I didn't have as much time as I would have liked. I didn't really get a time to peruse all the vendors, but it was a really great little mini con. And so I snagged a few things. I got Dazzler 22 early Rogue appearance. Any appearance with Rogue when she was still a baddie. I try to get there's not a lot of them, but
Gonna say there aren't many of them.
I really like it though. It's cool to see the evolution of the character.
She gets hotter as she gets older.
It's just got, like when they made her a good guy, they're like, we'll get rid of the Karen haircut and we'll slowly but surely getting all of my DC Comics presents. So
Jim Starlin.
37. And yeah, a little anytime Hulk guest stars in a book, it's a good time. So here we got Hulk versus the FF.
I'm glad to add that new one to your list.
I had legitimately never seen that one before, and so I was super stoked to see it.
Always happy to add more to your list.
Marvel Team Up, I'm getting really close to a full run, so I'm just kind of plugging a few holes here and there. So here's with the Watcher. I'm down to like 15 issues left before I have a full run, something like that. So with Scarlet
Ooh.
Witch.
That's pretty. I wonder who did that cover. I don't recognize that art.
It is JRJR.
Whoa, okay. That's nice.
JRJR.
Cool.
Yeah.
He was very interdependent.
Terry
in those
Austin
early
inking.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. The team up books have been kind of my focus this year. So DC Comics Presents, Marvel Team Up, and 2-in-1. 2-in-1, I still have about 50 issues to go still, but all 3 books are just a ton of fun. So shoring up those holes on getting these. This vendor, guys.
No, don't die.
My dog's freaking out. They're playing. This vendor wrote the price on the bag and their Mylar. So, come on, guys. Please don't do that.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Another Marvel 2-in-1, Submariner. Guys.
Wow. Things always hitting somebody. Anger management.
Guys, stop. Got Invincible Girl. Boys.
Nope. Stop talking. Go to jail.
Boys. I need about. I gotta take care of my dogs. Let's go to Ian. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back in like a minute.
Okay. You all cut me off when you think I've overstayed my welcome, but the reason I didn't go to the con Sunday is because I was broke because I had bought a lot of comics. So went to one store downtown. This guy got a box in. He showed me the box, and I was like, "Ooh!" And he said they're really cheap.
Yeah.
So these are later issues of Love and Rockets. The first volume, 32, 33, 34, 35. Love this because it's like, oh, Ed Piskor, Hip Hop Family Tree. I see where he got the influence for that. So very cool there. One of the classic covers. Always loved that as a kid. And then this, I think, is just this is in. I've got the hardcover collection of covers, and this was in there. Just amazing stuff. Gotta love your Love and Rockets. Just gotta love it. If you never read it, nobody included Love and Rockets, so maybe I could have added that to my list tonight, but
Too late.
you gotta make cuts somewhere. All right, so half price. Just found these hanging out, $2 a piece.
Hell
Little
yeah.
DCU Universal logo. Was missing this from my Tales of the Jedi Golden Age of the Sith. Was missing this from my New Avengers run.
It's upside
This
down.
next book. I don't know if you all remember, after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, there are a bunch of spin-offs, and not spin-offs, but like spoofs, basically. There were geriatric gangrene jujitsu gerbils, and probably the most popular was the adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters, which was a fun little thing. All the covers were like goofy and paid homages to other things. And there's Boris the Bear, which was kind of similar. But I did not know that there was a comic called Hamster Triumphant. You know, we talk about cover buys. This was a title buy for me. And then I started to read what it said. This is a solo story following one of the adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters.
Adolescent black belt hamsters.
Blown away by this. And this is issue 2 of 3. I'm like, what? Got to get it. So literally every Conan except the big keys and the Todd McFarlane issues, everything above like issue 50 is now in my local half price books. Like literally this long of a section of just Conan the Barbarians for $2 a pop. So I just randomly picked up issue 50. It's got a serpent, it's got Conan holding a sword, and it's got a woman in a bikini or one piece chained somewhere. I think that sums up Conan the Barbarian. Get issue 78 just because. And then I got issue 245, and I got this one for a very particular reason. People love Mark Jeweler inserts. I love collecting the random inserts that we might have forgotten about that maybe were not as prolific. So this has the Nolan Signs insert. And you know it's an insert because this is newsprint. This is glossy paper. So it was inserted. It's not printed on the same paper. And this is all about Upper Deck giving away or selling a whole bunch of Nolan Ryan signed baseball cards.
Not
So
Fred Nolan,
I
the real
will
estate
always
agent.
go for the weird and quirky and stuff that you can't find elsewhere. Stray
love
Bullets #1, third printing. Never read this. Heard it was great.
Oh, you must read Stray Bullets. So
A
good.
lot of
so
comic
good.
book creators cite this as one of their favorites.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, got to get on Stray Bullets. Found a #1. I always like the Gargoyle. This is Dark Corners, a triple story, one Cloak and Dagger, one Morbius, and one Gargoyle story. Pick that up. First comic book I ever read. I buy this whenever I can find it. Got a little Silver Surfer. Back to that guy who had the box behind the thing that he let me see. there is a full run, except for number 1, which I already have, of Devil Dinosaur in there, which I thought was really cool. So I completed my run of Devil Dinosaur. Very Commandi-esque there, very Kirby-esque, obviously. And I was going through the books. He's like, actually, there's another box there. So I went and I looked through the second box. I picked up a long box off the floor and I put it, I put it on the counter. I opened it up and I look at him and I go, I sold you this box a month ago. He's like, oh, okay. So I didn't buy anything out of that box. These were $2 a pop. He was selling me this stuff. First Leech, 150, or 250. Sorry. So I just bought it. Oh no, it is 150. So I just bought a bunch of stuff from him. He had some Daredevil, so I got the first Typhoid Mary coming up. I got the first Blackheart, son of Mephisto. Got the first Amanda Waller. One of these legends also has a really cool insert. Let me just see.
Suicide Squad.
You can never find this one. It's in a lot of teen titles. Nope, it's not there. It's issue 1, maybe. This is really cool. Thank you, Eduardo. I appreciate that. Eduardo's been with us all night long. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. You can find this in some Legends number 1s.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally an entire insert based around Mask.
Yeah.
6-page insert.
Nice.
Which
So
it's coming
all
out as a
about- it's actually
reboot
like-
on the 10th next month.
Yep.
It's a comic within a comic.
No one knows
and then,
what
of
lies
course,
behind the masquerade.
Underoos,
Yeah,
Every
that is
now-
that part of the insert is definitely a time to call. What's that guy? Why don't you have a seat right over there?
I mean, it is crazy. So I love this particular insert. I found this one in Legends number 1. If anybody is trying to look for it, boom. So there's Legends 1, 2, and 3. First Amanda Waller, first modern Suicide Squad, and then found a bunch of books to help finish my Commandi run.
Ooh.
Was that a boo or an ooh?
Boo.
I still can't tell. No, they're saying boo earns, boo earns, burns.
Boo.
So I got to check. I haven't filed these yet because I was keeping them out for the show, but I might be close to finishing. I'm not doing the whole Commandi run. I'm doing the whole Kirby on Commandi run.
That's like 48 issues.
And then the other thing he had was a bunch of Eternals. So we got first Cersei and first like other things here, and then you get to see that Kirby had a thing for blonde-haired boys.
Yeah.
For drawing blonde-haired boys. Did I say that
Fuck's
wrong?
sakes.
Sorry. Boom.
Pretty
A
sure
lot
he
of
gagged
great-
a bunch of blonde-haired young men in Germany.
Do you think
A lot of
Icarus is
great,
rich grown up?
Kirby stuff. Look at this crackle and floating heads, man.
Yeah.
Classic. It is classic.
So classic.
And then I grabbed this for Michael if he doesn't have this issue.
Oh.
It's 251 if you were wondering. I know it's a later issue.
That's the
So it
only one I
doesn't-
don't have.
All right, and then the final little stack. I went to another news store, and they had 30% off modern back issues, and on Tuesdays they had 20% off the 30% off. So I grabbed a bunch of Kelly Thompson's Birds of Prey because I think Kelly Thompson is an amazing writer, and I wanted to finish Birds of Prey
Ooh, I like that cover.
run. That one.
Yeah, it's cute. Love it.
I
it
think
Christy
Chrissy
Zulu?
Zulo is what my friend Rob was saying.
Which issue number is it?
Issue 12. I can't tell who it is.
Okay.
Leonardo Romero.
Nice.
I don't know these modern people. And then I never got to keep up with Kelly Sue's FML. So I'm kind of kind of getting all those. I'll have to see which ones are missing. Then
What
there
does
is
FML stand for?
Final two books.
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung.
Wow.
I hope he's not talking about me and just showing books. So just I try to collect every Miss Marvel cover I can find. These were just some like later issues of like New Champions. This is the D variant and the E variant. So there you go. I am done. I am done showing off now. I agree, Comic Foil. FML. I like the ones I like. It's about a bunch of kids growing up in Portland. You know, Kelly's son and daughter are kids growing up in Portland. One's going to college now. So yeah, very cool.
All right, Michael, you ready?
I'm ready. I only have 2 issues. You know,
and
I had
Vinson had to leave because he had a pet emergency. So we hope everything is going okay.
Oh
over
shit!
under
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope his dogs are okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So I had a dream once to get a certain type of comic, and then I lost that dream. I lost my way. I lost hope. And then a guy much older than me, a wise man, Kevin, said, "No, Michael, don't give up on that dream." And so I renewed that dream, yes, for marriage issues. And here's another one. Got another one. Superman, and I don't know who she is, but whatever. So she's
Warning, warning, warning.
Whoops, wrong one.
Do you know what you look like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube.
Sorry, Lois.
I
don't
haven't
know
seen
why
that one before.
Why did Lois? She's got black hair. Why? I don't understand. Okay, nobody will explain it to me.
You fucking tracer! Your mother's a tracer!
Okay, and then the other one I got was The Marriage of Batman and Catwoman. The real one. The one that stuck.
Now let's see if you can defend yourself, you sweat from a baboon's balls.
So I'm getting closer. I'm so close to getting all the wedding issues in the entire comic kingdom. So
Do you have Vision Scarlet Witch yet? You got it yet?
No, I'm saving up.
Okay. You have Reed and Sue?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
You got that one. I say that's the expensive one, probably. You're all right. You got that one. Me? Okay.
All right.
Miracleman.
I got about 12% battery life left, guys, so I'm going to rip and roar right on through what I picked up this past week. Honestly, guys, I've still been digging through books that I picked up a couple of months back when my brother was here in town. I'm sure he's going to watch the show and be like, what the fuck do you mean? But he's seeing them. He's seeing them every time. I'm going to start off with something cool. Check that out. First appearance of Underdog in a comic book.
Oh,
Number one.
Underdog will save the day.
Yeah. Wasn't, I believe, I might be wrong. Somebody correct me, check me. I believe the original voice for the Underdog cartoon was Howard Stern's father. I believe. I think I know. As weird as that sounds, I think that is actually.
You must have frequency modulation. Somebody got to look that up, because if it's true, it's great. If it's not true, then Miracleman is. I want to know what he's smoking tonight.
That's good shit, actually. Check this out. Now, you don't get to see these a whole lot. Harlem Globetrotters.
Quality.
Yeah. There's Whitman
Things
variant.
are
Right
afro.
So beat up when you do find them.
Oh, they're always womped, dude. They're always womped. Siegel and Schuster, Dateline, 1930s. This is the Eclipse Comics true life story of Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster right here. They did all kinds of sci-fi stuff back in the day. Remember last week I showed off a Miracleman Apocrypha? Well, I got another one of the issues. I already had them, but mine were pretty womped. Let's do some copper and bronze. We'll do some copper before I get into the corn. So here we have some Mark Spector Moon Knights, almost done with these. I have all but the most expensive Splato cover. I think it's the one where he's like literally splat. That's all from the Mark Spector run. Here's the Mark Spector Moon Knight Special Edition #1. A random issue of Akira. I'm never going to finish this. I don't know why I buy them when I find them. You know what's still really tough to find? Late issues of G.I. Joe. I'm really close to finishing it, but they're tough, man. They're tough.
And expensive.
Yeah. Barr and Davis, Detective Comics.
Alan Davis goodness.
This whole era is fantastic. I don't pick up Detective very often, but when I do, it's usually got Barr and Davis. This one here, the Green Arrow story. A part of this Green Arrow story was written by none other than Mr. Alan Moore.
Oh.
Here's a pre-Alan Moore saga, The Swamp Thing. Almost done with that series. I think I need like 2 issues, maybe 1. Not very many. You know, Silver Age, Superman in action, they always get all the attention because let's be honest, they're just plain fun. They introduce a lot of characters. But Bronze Age Superman, also a ton of fun. Bronze and Copper Superman. Now it gets a little more generic into the Copper Age, but still fun. You know, here we go. Here we got a Superman with a whole bunch of villains behind him. Look, we got Bizarro.
Ross
We
Andrew.
got Terra Man, Toy Man, Metallo. You got Brainiac. That's just a great cover. Here's an Action Comics, just a random issue of Action Comics. Don't really care. Cool one. Cool one.
Don't really care. It's all right.
It's cool. Don't really care which one. Just Bronze Age Superman's fun. Copper Age Superman's fun. If you think they're not fun, I got a question. How do you like comics? Like, you sure you like comics? If you don't like comics from them, here's Weird War Tales. I love Weird War Tales. Always loved Weird War Tales. Only war book I would get as a kid. I'd occasionally get one with the Haunted Tank in it, but this was pretty much if I saw it, I grabbed it as a kid. A little Red Sonja for you, some Frank Thorne and with a pretty lady in a metal bikini. Not Frank Thorne in a metal bikini. That wouldn't be that pretty. Superboy and the Legion. I haven't finished this run yet. I'm getting real close. There's your first Dawn Star. I also love this guy in the short pants, Tyrock there. Gotta love it.
Where's Cliff when we need him?
Look at this dude. Look at this little feller with his bell bottoms and a Mike Grell cover. Mike Grell and them bell bottoms, man. Let me tell you what. Here's a square bound. Look at that.
You
One of
like
the
being
giant size.
contemporary.
What's that?
You like being contemporary.
I like it. I like it. I like it being modern. I like it to be a relatable, approachable for later audiences. Here we go.
The first Mike Grell? That might be the first Mike Grell, isn't it? No?
I don't think that's it. No.
No. Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You could be right. You've been on a roll tonight, Canadian. I got to give you props. All right, couple more here. Black Magic. You know, this Black Magic is from the Bronze Age. This is all reprints, but it has a lot of Kirby work. So of course I pick them up when I find them.
What's the attic?
Almost done with What If Volume 1. Here we got the Wolverine. What if Wolverine had killed the Hulk? What if Shang-Chi, master of Kung Fu, fought on the side of Fu Manchu? What if Nova had been 4 other people? Some of these were really shitty. What if Rick Jones had become a Hulk? Okay, I mean, I guess that one's interesting. What if Dr. Doom had become a hero? Anyway, I mean, I guess that's an interesting concept. But you know what they do a little bit too often? What if Spider-Man had been somebody else? Guys, you just fucking did this. Last issue I needed of Forever People. Finished off the Bronze Age Forever People run by my hero, Mr. Kirby. There's a little Supergirl #1 for you. Been meaning to get that one for a hot minute now. What's that?
I still need that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get it for a hot minute. Love these Wonder Woman. Been trying to do Wonder Woman from issue about 200 on up. Here's a 223, a 222. This whole year is weird. It's got like the picture and it's got another character in there. Here's a 220.
It's the 12 Trials of Wonder Woman.
I don't know what's going on there.
Those
Here
are
is
actually. Did you get them for a good price? Those can be.
I did.
Expensive.
Yeah,
Okay.
$2-3 a piece, something like that. Here is modern Wonder Woman in a pantsuit. And you know, just what our man Vincent, here's a little supervillain team up there, #8. And you know, just because time's running out, let me get to the filth right quick. Well, that was messed up. You went right to him, huh? Oh yeah, Topps Comics. Look, see what I tell you. Topps. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Roy Thomas. Now, of course, somebody wrote this long before Roy Thomas, and she was a woman. But I love these. I finally finished. I got the last 2 issues I need. Betty Page in Danger from Shh Productions. These are some of the harder to find Betty Page. There's no nudity. There's just ladies in their underpants. These are some of the harder to find Betty Page books from Shh Productions. It is a picture comic. I can't open it to show you because then we'll definitely be in trouble. It is a picture comic of pinup models, right? And then in the back, there's a modern model who does a 3D. You can get a 3D of this lovely young lady over here. A 3D comic comes with the glasses, of course. Then it's like 3 more books, and then I'm gonna wrap it up because again, my battery is dying very rapidly. So I went to my I can't show you that one at all. I'll do these. I went to I lied. How many? Oh yeah, here's that other Betty Page I needed. There we go. Betty Page in Danger. Last one I needed. Got them all now. It did 12 issues of 0 to a number 11, and then a Christmas special. Because nothing says Christmas like Betty in her underpants. Here we have a One-Fisted Tales doing a parody cover of the famous Demi Moore pregnancy naked photo, although of course she's not naked. I picked up some books from our man Aaron Myers. Actually, he had a significant portion of Dr. Wertham's Comics and Stories, an underground book. I believe this is from 1974. It's number 1. There's number 2. And here's number 4 and 5. It's actually a flip book. There's one more. I just don't see where it's at here right now. I'll find it next week and show y'all. You know, sometimes oh, here you go. This is number 6 and 7, I believe, right there. Check that out. Isn't that violent? Now, you know, a lot of adult books are very, very cheaply done. But something I very rarely see with adult books is them reusing the cover. But this book right here, Space Babes, I think this is from like Rick Stevens Publishing or something like that. I forget what it is. Same cover on all 4 issues that they made. All they did was put a little sticker right here telling you which issue number was. Exact same cover all the time. So if you see this cover, there could be 4 issues that could all be different.
That's
Babes in space.
Last book, because my battery literally just says it's about to die. Space Sluts from Comic Zone. Right there. Check that out. That is a ridiculous book. I don't even know what it's about. I just saw the name of it. I was like, Space Sluts. Well, that has to go on the PC. So I grabbed it. And you know what? One more, because the battery's not dead just yet. One more. Hold on. Here is it. Where is it? Here it is. No, that's not it. For my man, Eduardo, Cave Woman Badlands, number 1. This is actually after Anka's Revenge. If you're, you know, obviously if you're Ed, you know what I'm talking about. But this is a fantastic sequel. It is Devin Massey art, but they're not naked. All naked. It's a long story. They're not new to the whole thing. Like normally Devin Massey does a Cave Woman book and the girls she's just naked the whole time. That is not what happens this one. There's actually a story. It's a thin plot, but there is a plot and a story to it, and it's pretty good. Wait, I lied. Hold on. Here we got it. Here we go. I just got these Volume 1, Volume 2 by Harvey Kurtzman and Will Elder, Playboy's Little Annie Fanny, collecting the entire run of Little Annie Fanny comics that appeared in the Playboy magazine from 1962 to 1970. Here's from 1970 to 1980. This is all of them. These were published by Dark Horse. These are not real easy to find. Found both of them at the same place. And then last but not least, here we go. This is a Previews adult, right? Look how
I forgot that you did those. Yeah, I remember that now.
These are not easy to find. Nobody saved them. This book right here was written and created by Dan Fogel, the gentleman who made the Underground Price Guide. I know of a Comic-Con this summer that I'm going to go to where he's going to be there. So I'm going to bring this and have him autograph it for me. Dan Fogel is the owner of Hippie Comics. He also now owns Carnal Comics. And he made the very last Adult Star Stories, Felicia there. And I bought it from him last year. So I'm going to take this in, have him sign it for me and see what Underground Comics I can buy from him.
That's not Alyssa Milano?
No, that is Felicia, the adult film star. Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Only
All
did
right, that's
lesbian
it.
scenes.
What's that?
Only did lesbian scenes.
Oh my goodness.
And for that, we thank you.
Me too.
All right, I got a couple books, not a lot of them, but let's just go through this quick, and then we'll run through the top 5, and we'll call it a night. So let's see here. Change the camera on over. So I didn't get this just recently. I got this a few years ago when I needed the. Oh, and he just lost his battery, and he's gone. Okay, so we know that last night it was the final episode, final taping of the Stephen Colbert Show for late night. And this was the last issue I needed so I could have volume 2, issue 30 up to current. So I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago when I was looking for this, it was $11 versus the regular issue for $8. So I got this one. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Now you see that he's real young looking here because right around this same time in 2008, he was doing Tech, what was it? Tech Jansen. I almost wanted to call it Tech Jacket, but Tech Jansen, it was his own creation for 2007. He was really getting into comics back then. Now, just last year, he did this cover for issue 40 of World's Finest. And for everything that Stephen Colbert has done for our nation and for the good of, reasonableness and dignity, I thank you. Now, it was just my birthday on Monday, so I know that I was not expecting anybody in my personal realm inside Miami to get me a comic, so I got one for myself. I've been wanting this for a very long time. $120. They put it at about a 8.0 or so. It has some like foxing on the edge, but I'm good with that. Now, a buddy of mine, Juan, he called me up saying, hey, I'm getting rid of some books. I'm thinning out the collection. I have this run of Bitch Planet. I'll be right over. So here it is, the full run of Bitch Planet, issue number 1. I'm going to get a chance to finally read this weekend.
Great story. I'm so upset that she never finished that. So upset.
I hear it's coming back soon enough. Oh, there you go.
Me that 2 years ago.
And here is the Image First version. This one Ace got me years ago. And if Ace still watches, thank you. Yeah, we saw battery died. Sorry. This is issue 2, the first print. This is the variant. And this is the second print. When he said he had the whole series, he was not kidding. Issue 3. The second print. Issue 4. Oh, there you go. Oh, you have one I don't have.
Yeah. Whole series, my ass. Come on.
Yeah. I'm going to need to find that one. Just yours is signed.
What? No, you go. I'm just being silly. This is your show. Your turn. I'm missing my number 1.
I guess as you do it, I'll do it too.
There you go.
Oh, wrong one. I'm grabbing the wrong book.
So yeah, she stopped this at issue 10, and it was right in the middle of a prison breakout, and then it just stopped. She said it was a parody, and when a certain man got elected president, it was hard to do a parody of our current political situation because it was so horrible. Nothing she could write was as bad as what's going on. So that was the initial reason why she stopped it. And then I think, partnering up with Valentine DeLandro and continuing it was, it was just hard to get together. So she's told me at least twice at conventions that, oh yeah, I'm working on more Bitch Planets on the way, but it's been a long while.
Awesome. And Miracleman, what was the name of that sci-fi Eclipse comic? If you're still in the chat, let Sitting Links know. But otherwise, I have been talking all night. It is now that time. And what time is it?
Where are my children?
Top 5.
No, it's 11 p.m. Do you know where your children are right now? Hopefully
At
not being ravaged.
McDonald's.
Well, that's actually better than being ravaged by Brainiac right now.
Yeah, my son is a senior officially now. That's scary.
Congratulations. And also, I'm sorry, and hopefully he makes good decisions.
He's done pretty good so far. Can't complain.
Wait,
Nice soccer.
What do you got there?
I just wanted to show you this one that Kelly
Good
signed.
credit
for
number
me.
Oh,
one.
hell yeah.
I thought that was cool. I got Clayton Cowles. I asked him if he could sketch something. He's a letterer. Instead, he's like, how about I just do a bubble with all that? And then I got Valentine and Kelly at the bottom. Okay, now I'm done.
Get one of these.
Warning, 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 warning. Banger alert, banger alert.
All right, here we go. We're back on over to our top 5. We do this every week. And just to let people know that, well, this is the 4th week of May, and this is all based off of the 31,000 comics that you usually see behind me, as Michael's telling you all right here. So let us know if you have any of these in the comments, or just drop us a chat in the comments after the show. But here we go. Here's our number 5 book. It is Action Comics number 254. It's the 1959 first appearance of Bizarro as an adult, because he made an appearance before in Superboy, but he was killed in that very episode. So they brought him back the very next year, and they stuck him in Action Comics. And this all Otto Bender, this is the man that really made Superman who he is today. So this thing is up $81. This is still really, really down. For a very good minus condition copy, it sold recently this past week for $230. This is a book that even in still this condition just a couple of years ago, it was around $400 or $500. So if you're trying to find this first Bizarro as an adult, it's not his first appearance, but this is not the prototype, I guess. So yeah, $230, kind of cheap, really. Our number 4 book is the first appearance of Domino and Gideon and some guy named Deadpool. He's probably not going to go anywhere. But this thing here, it's up $99. It's getting back around to those prices that we saw back in 2021 again for a newsstand condition. Yeah, newsstand. That's what we're looking for here. Newsstand near mint condition copy. Somebody paid this week $452. Yeah, it's a little much. You could probably pay a little bit more and get probably a 9.6 or a 9.8. But if you want to chance it, yeah, I mean, that's cheaper than what you'd get a 9.8 at. That's the number 4 book. This is the number 3. It's Fantastic Four, number 25 from 1964. It's the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. But most people know this as the second Thing versus Hulk battle. Now, issue 12 is the one that has the first time that they ever battle, but it's very brief. There's mind control going on. This is the first real head-to-head battle. Mine is signed by Stan Lee, who didn't really work on the book because it's all Jack Kirby, but hey, let Marvel tell you otherwise, but we know the truth. This book came out in 1964, and for a very good fine condition copy, it is up $112. Somebody paid this week $363. I mean, not bad. Not bad at all. Is that technically? Yes, it is the first Domino, but later on, we find out that it's not the real Domino, but the visage of Domino. So we'll still call it a first, but her real first appearance comes during the, I try to show off. Number 31,000. Yeah, during X-Force. So that's the number 3. Here's our number 2, Werewolf by Night, number 32. It's the first appearance of Moon Knight. This is a book that when I tried to get this, it was right in the middle of the fever of Moon Knight. So I didn't overpay for it, but I did go to a place in Broward County called Martin Luther King Boulevard. And if you ever watch Chris Rock do a special, if you find yourself anywhere in America at a Martin Luther King Boulevard and you're lost and you have to call a friend, hey man, I'm lost. What should I do? I don't know. Where are you? Martin Luther King Boulevard. Run! Just run! But I was there. I almost got attacked. But hey, guess what? I still have the book. But it's why I always say rule number 1, don't die, and especially not for comics, no matter how much you love it. So this book came out in 1975 for a very fine condition copy. It's up $140. It's finally clearing $1,000 again. it's right back to $1,030, which is somebody paid for this past week. And the last book, which I feel bad for doing this for the third week in a row. Oh my God. The number one book again is Amazing Spider-Man 125, the first appearance of the Punisher.
Kevin, can you do the banger alert?
I can find it, but don't we just do banger alerts for like new stuff?
Everybody else's stuff. Not for the
I'm
top.
not.
It's fine.
Okay.
No. We're gonna do this.
And if I was still in charge, I would, but they've taken my power away.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know the.
It's
I
under
don't have
media
access to
assets,
the
but
day.
for the fact that it's number one again.
Banger
Hey,
alert.
I know most of you out
Banger
there
alert.
ain't ghosts.
Banger alert.
Warning, 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 warning. Banger alert, banger alert. Oh, look at the little kitty. And he's playing with the tiny little chick. Wait, you're here for comic books, you dumb asshole! It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion in the basket.
Never gets old.
Never gets.
Never.
Gets old. All right, so this is up $225. A month ago, this was under $1,000. You probably could have gotten it even for less than that. But all of a sudden, there was a TV show where they killed a dog at the very first scene. And there was some weird AI jankiness when Frank fell off of a building and looked like he's just flailing, but it's all AI, or maybe it's not. They said it was really John Berthal during that stunt, but I mean, the rest of us just went, come on, you couldn't have cleaned that up. Nevertheless, this thing is up $225 this week. Somebody paid. Somebody paid for this thing $1,800.
Interesting.
I kind of put this over and over again. If you just wait 6 weeks after the brand new day movie comes out in July, you could probably get it for less. And if not, you wait 6 months. And if that thing still has not come down from that $1,800 price point, which it could go more after the movie comes out, because you know how people love having those stickers on their trucks right next to the balls coming off of the truck. Maybe it'll still be $2,000 then, but my guess would be is it will drop. And if you can just wait those 6 months, you'll probably save a lot of money. You won't be able to show it off on your Twitters, your X's, your Facebook, what have you, but you will save some money. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're not telling you go out and buy a book because it's the hottest book in the land. We're trying to help save you money. We're all collectors here. Most of us are run collectors. And when people go out there saying, hey, buy this book right now because it's really expensive, well, that's the last thing we're going to tell you to do. We want to try and be a service to people out there. But again, we do these shorts on TikTok and on YouTube. They drop every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I want to go around the room and just see what people are doing for their channels or videos coming up that you want to promote. Doc, anything you want to promote?
No, not in particular. Just post it every day. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out my channel if you haven't. We're having a lot of fun. I'm growing a lot, so I'm excited about the growth.
All right. Tacoma?
So I'm really impressed by Doc's daily output. Well, Michael, of course, but by Doc's daily output of videos and reaching 1,000. I've been at 647 for gosh knows like how many years. I can't say that I'm inspired enough to actually start making daily videos. So I will continue to think of video ideas that I don't follow through on just because, you know, time is precious and I got other things to do. But you never know when I might appear. I will appear Sunday at Astonishing Comics Auction, selling those Eternal books I showed you, not selling those Devil Dinosaur books.
The Devil Dinosaurs you keep because it led into Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which I still need to finish that series. Michael, you got anything?
I've got some advice. A lot of people complain, oh, my wife, she doesn't like me buying so many comics. So develop a relationship with your postal service person.
Good idea.
My little trick is when my wife's at home, I put a sock on the outside door so they know not to stop and they drive right on by. And then when my wife isn't there, I take the sock off. They know they can come deliver my comics. Everything's cool. So
Right.
the sock trick.
Practical advice and the top 5.
But you know, Michael, this episode, you've been spot on. You had some great stuff. Y'all had some great stuff tonight. And round of applause. Yeah, the golf clap from Men at Work. So I want to thank everybody for watching the show again tonight. We will be back next week, the same time as we usually are, which is the old comic book day. Hey, Vanderbilt. 9 p.m. Eastern on the 29th of May. I was about to say February, and boy, am I behind the times if I'm saying February. So thank every one of you out there that watches. Drop us a comment if there's anything that you want to see on the show. But this is the show, and we thank you all for watching. We're going to do this all again next week. So until next time, read all your comic books and enjoy your Memorial Day. And if you see a vet, thank them for their service. Good night, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.